Hi everybody, it's Stephanie here from Ann Gregory Decor. On the poll we took earlier this week, you guys wanted to know how to make a framed sign. So here we are in the workshop today showing you how to make a frame sign. Here is the finished product. This is a 12 by 12 frame sign. So what we did is we start with a piece of pine we cut to size. Even though we say 12 by 12, if you get your wood from Home Depot or Lowe's, it's actually 11.25. And we cut it to be square, and then we use the frame pieces. We use 1-inch frame pieces for our frame signs now. We used to use a skinnier frame piece, but they just didn't work out very well. They weren't as tough, weren't as strong, and they were just kind of flimsy. So we use the 1-inch frame pieces now. So we cut these to size based on whatever size we're doing our wood. Two pieces will be the same length, obviously these are not, but the same length as two of your sides, and then two pieces are going to be longer. So we took this wood and we turned it into this. We stain the back side and stain the frames, and then we painted the front side white. Obviously you can do any colors you want. We've done gray frames before. We like the uniform stain back, so we recommend if you're doing a brown frame, stain your back brown, gray, stain your back gray, etc. And our board is going to be white. So you take your frame signs here, and before I do any nailing, I always make sure that our frames are going to line up. Sometimes they don't line up perfectly to two sides, but they do line up to the other sides. So I'm just going to check it here, make sure it all lines up as so. And it does. Again, you can see two shorter sides and two longer sides. Of course, everyone does this a little bit different, so this is just the way we do it. I'm going to grab my nail gun.
Might get loud. Stephanie won't let she won't let me show her face, so that's why this is kind of awkward.
It's going to get loud for just a second. What nails we're using. Maybe it'll stop.
Do you want to explain why it's so loud right now?
So hopefully you can hear me. It is loud right now because the air nailer is filling up with air, essentially. Here we go. So we use a Porter cable air compressor and Dusty, sorry. We use a Porter cable air compressor and with a Porter cable nail gun. And then as I showed while that was turning on, we use the 1-inch 25 millimeter nails for this project. For other projects we use bigger or smaller, but for frame signs we want them to be long enough that they're gonna be stabilized into the wood, but not too long that it splinters the wood or pops out the other side. So Alyssa, if you want to come over on this side, I'm gonna do one side at a time. I prefer to do it right on the edge of the table, that way I can get my gun in there nicely. And I'm gonna hold both pieces with my hand and nail at a semi-angle towards the bottom of the frame piece to make sure that I'm going to get the wood on the other side. And I usually do one on each side. Careful of your fingers, you never know what might happen. And then this short of a piece, I'll just do the 4 nails, and you can see that it is secure now. I'm going to flip it around to the other short side. I like to do the short sides first. I recommend doing the short sides first. Just because, and you want to do it at semi of an angle. I recommend doing the short sides first. That way they're even with your board, and then you can move on to the long side. And I usually do 2 into each side here. And I'm pushing down, making sure that it's going to be flat. There's a little protector here on this gun, so you have to, I'm going to take my finger off the trigger, you have to compress this part and then pull the trigger or it won't work. So you can see I'm not compressing and I'm pulling the trigger and it's not working. That's the great thing about tools these days is they all have a safety feature. So I'm going to put a couple more nails on this side. This side. And there you have it, a nice square framed sign. From here, if we were doing a party or a custom order, we would cut our stencil to size inside, to fit inside the frame, and then we place our stencil on there, paint it, and come up with a great finished product. Let me grab a finished product actually that one of our customers just made. And that turns into this.
There you have it.